Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kinguin Pro League Day 4. With me, Savit, we're just done casting a game between, a match that is between Kolento and RDU. Kolento took the series 3-2. It was really close. They both equalized. It was 1 for RDU, then Kolento went 1, then RDU 1, and then Kolento. It was just a crazy game, a crazy match. And it came pretty close. So next up, we're going to have Frezzar versus Strifecro, as planned from earlier today. I kind of want to see what both players brought this time around.
Oh yeah, it's some really interesting classes here. From Frezzar, Druid, Rogue, Shaman, so they're surprise pick there. Well, I guess he played Shaman last time too, but still, like bringing Shaman to a game like to a match like this is pretty surprising to me. Because personally, I don't think Shaman is in a very good spot right now.
Yeah, they're in this weird spot, really. Yeah.
Yeah, but Strifecro also Mage, Paladin, Warlock. There's the Paladin. I like the Paladin more than the Shaman, but I don't really like it either that much. It just feels like the Paladin has so many bad matchups, and last time around, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or was it like some tournament, but it was Conquest, and Strifecro was playing Paladin 3 times in a row, and he lost 3 times in a row. And all of the games looked pretty rough, to be honest. It seemed like the Paladin was really having a hard time trying to get that one win.
Like, they're fine when they get, like, against, let's say, Hunter or Mech Mage, they'll do fine if they get those early shielded mini-bots, and then they follow up with a good muster for battle, and they get that board, and they manage to remove some of the stuff, and then consolidate it in the mid-game with whichever champion into their possible Sludge Belcher. So they have ways to win against mid-range decks, like mid-range Hunter or mid-range Mage, but which is Mech Mage in effect, mid-range with a an aggressive side to it. But the thing is, when they run into something like a Rogue, things become a bit more dire. I mean, Rogues are... People say, like, evaluate Rogue as being about 60 to even, depending on the build, sometimes 90% or, like, 80% favored versus Paladin. So that's already baseline a bad matchup, and it's one of the 4 most popular classes, and they don't really have a high win rate against the other 3 most popular, Druid, Hunter, and Mage.
But knowing Strife, right, Paladin is one of his comfort picks. Like, I would not expect anything else but perfect play from Strifecro on Paladin. If he makes any even slightest mistake, I would be really shocked. So I think it has something to do with like how much he likes Paladin. It's not a bad class, but it's just like in the meta right now, like not my personal favorite.
Yeah.
But in the first game, Strifecro is gonna bring the Paladin, and he's gonna be up against the Druid. So that is a matchup which is not as bad as like the mentioned Rogue matchup. It can definitely go either way around.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be facing anything here, you probably would rather face Druid in this lineup. Well, then again, I guess you could go against Shaman. Yeah. I think I'd even take Shaman over Druid, but Druid is like the second best outcome for Strifecro. Leading with Paladin, that takes... I mean, it's a 66% upside, right? Because if he picks Rogue, it's 1 out of 3 decks that would wreck you, but the other 2 you're pretty comfortable against, if not favored, let's say against Shaman. So I think this is a pretty good call for Strifecro, and Frezzar, not reading into that, just picked up his Druid, which is anyway a really consistent class.
Yeah, maybe Frezzar could have done his homework a tiny bit better, because Strifecro has been leading a lot of these type of tournaments and matches with Paladin, so I kind of would have expected him, since the Paladin is in the lineup, I would have expected him to start with that, so maybe Rogue would have been better. But I mean, Druid, you can't really blame anybody for starting Druid, because it's just such an like a well-rounded class, and it's a class that has no truly awful matchup. So I think it's still a fair pick.
Yeah, I just think that the Rogue that he has, Frezzar, like, it's got such a good matchup against Strifecro's entire lineup that there's no reason not to take it. I mean, you beat Warlock most of the time, you beat Paladin most of the time, you beat Mage most of the time, so you could have started with that, but he's going to opt for the Druid, and we're going to see how things pan out for him in just a moment.
What? Ooh, are you...
And I think this is okay, wait, can I say this is a first? I am witnessing the first little exorcist in the history of Hearthstone tournament.
Hold on. What is going on?
Am I just not? And he throws it out.
I saw it too. It was there.
Okay. What?
Wait a second. Frezzar.
You know what? I was gonna commentate this game, but I'll let you take it because I can't honestly say I don't have a clue what Frezzar's got in mind here. I've got no idea.
I have not seen a recombobulator in Druid before. Not in ladder, not anywhere really. This is really mind blowing stuff.
I wonder if Strifecro's
I'm really
face
interested
is gonna
to see what else is in the deck because that's so weird.
Strifecro doesn't even blink. He's just like, oh, recombobulator, that's kind of normal. Are they privy to some kind of meta game we're just not aware of? Like I've never seen recombobulator first, but
Strifecro, here's a crow fist for you. All right. I think he's just like he's not even thinking about what he's gonna do here. He's obviously gonna play the shielded mini, but he's like thinking what else is in the deck because that's what I would be thinking.
You're trying to make up, like, you're trying to come up with the deck list that your opponent might be running, but then there's like no way. Oh well, that's actually a pretty good pickup for Frezzar.
But do you get the cards against Paladin maybe? I think I would like try to draw the swipe.
Yeah, you want to get that swipe, but okay, he goes for the. Well, at least I guess he's gonna be curving next turn, no matter what happens.
Yeah. But it's like this threat that you don't find more cards draw. I don't know how much is in there, but like if he doesn't find a lore anytime soon, he might run out of stuff to play. But it's definitely tempting to play Sylvanas on turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there were cold lateral calls in that deck. At this point, I'm just like, you know, there could be cold lateral calls, and yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow. Okay. Is there a reason not to play the Sylvanas? I guess Master of Battle. It wouldn't be that much value because there's so many 1/1s.
Yeah, if he has Muster and he trades his shielded mini bot, the odds of you getting anything good are pretty slim.
No, like you can't really get anything that amazing. The only thing you can get is the 2/2 over a 1/1.
Well, I mean, he does have answers to Tyrion, but... And a possible Ragnaros. Which I think we saw in the opening hand of Strifecro that he mulliganed away, unless I'm mistaken.
Was it... Which one had it? Oh, one of the players had a Rag, but I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah, I think it was the one at the bottom, I'm pretty sure, because the top hand contained a little Exorcist and 2 other miscellaneous cards that I didn't keep track of.
That's right.
Well, that Sludge Belcher's a pretty good pickup. It's actually, like, it's not going to help immediately, but it definitely buys him a little bit of time. It's a good body to put on this board.
I don't know, it's a bit awkward with the mana, because the hero board doesn't really do anything. I would consider the Sylvanas. This is a really bad spot for the Druid now. I don't know his deck, so it's like I shouldn't be judging.
That's what I said. Yeah, I'd like to commentate, but I can't. It's
Like I just would have preferred kind of to draw with the Nourish against Paladin, but I don't really know.
Do you think there's a Deathwing?
No way. Deathwing. How can you play Deathwing? That's a big game hunter in every deck.
He's playing Nourish. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure, because I know Life Coach runs Nourish in his Druid.
Yeah, and Life Coach has been doing fairly well, so.
Very well.
Yeah, well.
that's an understatement.
Yeah, I know. Life Coach has been the most dominating player in the recent Hearthstone competitive scene.
So I think right now what Frezzar wants to find most is a swipe. That's gonna be my bet, but this looks like an amazing swipe turn.
Yeah, but there is no swipe.
Well, I guess a 3-mana 3/4 with Taunt is not horrible.
Yeah, it's not horrible, but how much does it really get done?
It won't get any more done than it will now, so I guess you might as well.
That's true.
I don't think it'll get any better as time passes. In fact, it might just get worse, so...
No. Oh, that's such a mind-blowing decision to include that. Did he cut the shades then, maybe? Maybe there's no combo.
The shades for a little... Well...
Because you can't, like, play big game hunters and shades and little exorcists. I think that's too many of 3-drops.
I would have told you can't play little exorcists. Then
they probably don't play combo. We didn't see any combo pieces, right?
Not that I'm aware, no. I saw neither Savage Roar nor Force of Nature in the mulligan. So... And the worst part is because he didn't draw with Nourish, we're gonna be missing out on a lot of the potential draws that he might get. But I mean, if he ends up losing with the deck, we're gonna see it again. And if he wins with it, then we're gonna have to ask him for the deck list because I really want to know what's in there.
Me too. So, is there like some kind of clear here?
A consecration would do it. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even difficult. It's just.
Can you do it in a way that there's nothing stolen still? So you consecrate, you throw in the 3/3 into the exorcist. No, that's not so good.
You have to smash your 3/3 into the exorcist, then consecrate, then trade your 2/2/2s, one on Sylve, one on the 2/4, and then he gets a 1/1 guaranteed though.
I almost feel like you give him something and just hope that it's not the 3/3. So you do this trade, then you make a dude. Then attack into them. Yeah, he's doing it. Okay.
And then you can play another dude first even, and then Pilot Shredder, unless you prefer playing Sylvanas or Lotus.
He wants the Sylvanas, I guess, because he did.
No, he did not.
That was actually a misplay then.
Oh my god, does Strifecro misplay with Paladin? We gotta call
You should have hero pod first. You don't want to lose the 3/2. Like if he was planning to do that anyway. Is this real? It's Strifecro. Who's playing for Strifecro?
Yeah, I think Magic Amy's back.
It might be. Well, that's a really small thing, but yeah, I think it could have been slightly better, just tiny bit though.
I don't think it would have mattered in the grand scope of the game. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but based on the current board state, I think I would love to say that Strifecro had the game on lockdown, but depending on the top decks that follow up from Frezzar, I mean he is still admittedly pretty. He's got a board, mind you, but it doesn't really address much at this point.
No, Frezzar needs card draw. He really needs card draw. He needs the lords, or if he plays a second Nourish, maybe that. Like the board is slightly in Frezzar's favor right now, because it's fairly difficult for Strifecro to deal with everything right now. But I guess he can just ignore that and drop a Sylvanas, just pass.
Yeah, play Sylvanas and pass. Let Frezzar deal with her. It's big enough a problem for him.
Yeah, it should be difficult for Frezzar. Especially since like the keeper is already played, and that's the silence. So it's unlikely there will be a second one, and even if there is a second one, then
your Tyrion.
It's still a 5/5, and your Tyrion gets off. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's the play. Just Sylvanas pass. Is there something else?
I guess you could Loatheb hero power or True Silver attack trade, but I don't see the value in it. You might as well just do that next turn with a consecration to follow it up with.
Yeah, the True Silver seems really awkward here because you overkill the Belcher by so much. Oh, there's the card draw.
If that is actually probably the only card that Frezzar really wanted to see.
Yeah.
So do you trade first, like double trade to Sylve, give him a Slime and then Ancient?
Yeah, I think so.
That way you don't make your case worse. And the worst part is you could actually find Innervate for Druid of the Claw afterwards if you... He hasn't drawn a single one.
I mean, I guess you could try ignore the Sylvanas, but it usually backfires when you try ignore the Sylvanas. Because the Belcher gets a fairly good trade with... it's not even a trade with the piloted Shredder.
I don't like this line of play. I'd rather he just trades first. You double trade into Sylve and then you play Ancient of Lore. If you get Innervate, you then get to play Druid of the Claw right away, and that gives you...
He's hoping to find something.
Oh, and he found it, but this is not viable. Like, he can't do this.
Yeah, it would have worked out better because the Innervate.
Okay, well...
Well, now he can't Innervate anything, I guess.
Yeah, now you just hope that the Paladin doesn't have anything, in fact. I mean, the Paladin's board is essentially an auto-win. Like, you just True Silver Consec and you win the game. From here on out. Like, there's really nothing the Druid can do to contest this.
It's gonna be difficult, that's for sure. So I guess you kill the Slime with Sylvanas.
Well, you could attack with Sylve now, then you Consec, then True Silver the 5/5.
Yeah. Or
you could True Silver... Because you want to hit the 5/5 with your True Silver champion.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so obviously Consec first. Looks alright. The 5-drops, even though Loatheb is kind of like a nice card and everything, it doesn't seem to fit here because then he can all he can do is hero power and the Sylvanas won't get much value. And also there's 2 True Silvers right now, so If he, for whatever reason, wanted to keep the Consecration, I guess just the 2 silver and Dude would have been something, but I do think this is the best match.
Yeah, it wipes the board, and Sylvanas is essentially full on health, so...
Yep.
Frezzar had to address that before he can even move on to anything else. Yeah, I think Frezzar's last play last turn wasn't bad, but it could have been better than what he
could have been
did.
better, yeah.
Well, there's a Sen'jin here, so it's kind of like the piloted Shredder tech, but...
Oh, that sucks so much to swipe that. Because there might be like a master later. But on such a late turn, it's also like you know that the Quartermaster might come down on the same turn as the Master, so... It's probably alright to swipe that here. Then Druid of the Claw Taunt, I guess. Okay.
He goes for the Sen'jin.
Yeah, wants to give the flexibility from the Druid of the Claw, I guess.
Yeah, he doesn't need to get it out right now, but...
Would have been a slightly stronger minion, and the hero power didn't really do... Oh, wow.
That's a thing.
That's a card. Wow. Blessing of Kings. I've experimented a little bit by playing 1 Kings, and it's not that bad. Like it works alright.
It works fine as a 1-of in Druid decks nowadays.
Yes, one of absolutely. There's no way you can play 2. Well, it's like only the Druid of the Claw are able. He could... Oh no. Druid of the Claw, then innervate hero power.
Obviously, yeah. Get all that value. Get all that innervate value. So he's just going to opt to go face here. He's exposing himself to another Consecration disaster, but really, what chance does he really have against it? Like, you can't play around something you can't beat, so he's gonna assume that's not gonna be coming.
Yeah, seems alright. Strifecro's hand isn't that amazing either, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on it. I mean, if Frezzar finds a second Ancient of Lore, this could turn around pretty fast.
Well, he could play a Boulder Fist Chow here. With the Blessing of Kings.
Boulder Fist Chow. I like that. That's a really nice
It wouldn't be bad. Because like...
A Boulder Fist Chow.
This is already, like, he knows that there's no more silences, at least in the hand.
Yeah, if Strifecro's been keeping track, he knows that the card on the leftmost card of his opponent is probably a very situational card. So playing into BGH here is probably not an option. On the off chance that it is a thing.
You do want to play around this for sure.
So no Boulder Fist, but then again, Force of Nature Savage World would be the win here if he had it.
Yep.
It would be the win.
Strifecro has figured out that there might not even be a combo.
Honestly, from his position, I wouldn't know. Would you have been able to figure it out? Because I can't see any piece of information that would tell me that. Maybe the Sen'jins give away that it's a little Exorcist and Sen'jin. Maybe then you're thinking about what he had to cut to make those cards.
Yeah, Sen'jin is kind of a sign of that, and also like the Nourish. Well, not necessarily. Nourish might mean that there's only one combo, because it's really hard to fit in double combo and Nourish.
Exactly.
But you can't know for sure. That's like I still don't know for sure, even seeing these cards. But
honestly, I don't know anything about Frezzar's deck.
More difficult.
Yeah. Well, it might be the Boulder Fist Chow, as you said. Looks like you're pretty good time to Boulder Fist Chow, in fact.
Boulder Fist, go face with the Boulder Fist Chow.
Yep. You hit that 2-3 with your weapon, and you get back above safe range, way safe range, in fact. And then you get a 6/6. It's invulnerable to BGH. Although you could also keep the surprise factor, because what can he do here if you want?
Oh, he's going for it! Yes!
This is gonna be the saddest day in anyone's life. When you die to a zombie Chow. This is so weird. I don't even know what to say. Well...
This is one. If the juggle from the hero power hits face, that's lethal, right? Like after hero power. There's only one play in any case.
Yeah, you have to Shredder hero power, and that's the end of that. Otherwise, you're dead. And I mean, if that 6/6 dies, that's gonna be some health back. But
that's true. If
Consecration is lethal.
the juggles, yeah.
Muster for battle is probably lethal.
Well, that gives him 2 chances. I'm sure he's gonna play both. He needs to land 1 juggle on the face.
And it doesn't land. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Well, I think you just play Black Knight because.
Yeah, I so do. Like you have 50-50 to just win straight up.
Yeah.
And it's still a Yeti. And there's no like wildfire equality or anything in the Druid. Oh!
This is game! Well,
nice.
I would have finished him off with Zombie Chow for style points, but that's good enough. Strifecro's just gonna take the win, honestly, here with that True Silver Champion. Giving it 1-0 over Frezzar, who brought, I think, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna say it. The most unusual deck I've seen in about 6 months of Hearthstone. Like, in the past 6 months, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, or as dissonant when I compare it to the current metagame as the deck that he brought.
I hope he's gonna pick it again. I wanna see what's up. Like, this is so weird. This is so
he'll
strange.
have... Like, if he equalizes, eventually he will... Like, if he wants to win the series, he will eventually have to win 1 game with that deck. So...
That's true. But apparently Frezzar has picked Rogue for game 2. So we won't see that just yet.
Strifecro has Mage and Warlock, so I think the Rogue... Well, I thought the Rogue was actually the best pick for the first game, and I still think it's, against Strifecro's lineup, the best pick that Frezzar can make, so I totally agree with his Rogue here. Mage and Warlock. And even Handlock that I used to give... I used to give Handlock a massive edge in the matchup, but now with the massive Blade Flurries that Rogue is pulling off, it's getting a bit tougher for them, for Handlocks, that is, to contest the Rogues.
Yeah, Strifecro has picked Mage, so that's
close match.
Yeah,
pretty close match.
That's good news for Frezzar, I think. The Handlock is more difficult, and also you kind of want to match up your Shaman against the Handlock, I think. So, like if you bring a Shaman, there's not many good matchups, but Handlock is not the worst at least. So knowing Strifecro, I would expect to see a Mech Mage. I would actually be really surprised if it was anything else. But he's played that value mage, you know, with echoes and stuff.
A lot on ladder, you mean?
Yeah, he has played something like that in the past.
Okay.
But I think in tournaments it's usually been mechs. But Fatigue and Freeze don't really exist in Strifecro's playbook, I think. Like, he doesn't play that type of decks much.
I remember Fatigue Mage, but I keep forgetting if it was from him. I know that Mech Mage is one of the decks when GVG came out that he just took a huge liking to. And he considered it probably one of the best decks in the metagame at that point. So I think it just makes too much sense. He's played a lot of it on ladder early on in GVG, and he's probably kept playing it afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's again a really comfortable deck to play, and it's a deck that puts the aggression down, and it's kind of reminiscent of Druid in the way that it puts down the aggression and the opponent has to give responses right away. And it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Strifecro swept the first Kinguin for charity tournament, like 4-0 with Mech Mage in the finals. But this list, whatever it is, seems to include Thoshli.
Yeah, I guess I like it because a lot of people play double Mechanical Yeti for the spare parts. Thoshli gives you 2 spare parts and for 1 slot, and you're still getting them to work with Archmage Antonitis. So, and now that I think of it, I can't believe I haven't seen Thoshli more in Mech Mage.
It's pretty interesting. Like, yeah, me too. I'm like,
now that I think of it, it seems to make sense.
Yeah, because like I don't think that the piloted Shredder is that amazing. Because some people have been adding one. No, but not Shredder. I'm sorry. This piloted Sky Golem. Like it has some problems, but it's a 6-drop, and you don't have that many 6-drops that are good for Mech Mage. So, looking at the hand right now, it looks like really normal Mech Mage.
Yeah,
just the
as standard as everything. Yep. Well,
Frezzar's hand. It can get amazing if he finds a sprint.
It's gonna get crazy actually if he does. It's gonna go out of control really fast, I think, if a sprint is found soon. As long as he doesn't prep coin sprint. Everybody's done that once in their lives. Prep coin sprint.
Prep coin sprint.
Oh man, the worst feeling. Or, you know, prep sprint.
Prep coin sprint. Turn one.
Oh, you want to get a free sprint?
Yeah,
you just go
free
prep,
sprint
prep,
on turn
point,
one.
sprint.
Prep,
This
points.
is, yeah.
That was a mistake.
And then it's just, it's the conceit
are
of
made.
shame. Yeah. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, let's hope he doesn't make that mistake. I mean, he's got the hand that could allow, like, push him to do it. We're just gonna have to see how things develop. So, using the backstab on the mad scientist, leaves him with no answer at this board, which is kind of weird. He's got no SI7
You can coin out a Drake next to like prep
and prep flurry.
flurry, spellbar flurry. It's not perfect though. He needs like a backstab so he can also clear his own Drake, like the copy of his own Drake.
Yeah, because that mirror entity is well, we're assuming it's mirror entity. I didn't see it, but I have to make that assumption.
It was, yeah.
Okay. It goes by too fast for my eyes.
It's pretty painful to deal sometimes for a rogue.
Yeah, without those 3/3s. I mean, those are or Blood Mage Thalnos even. I guess that's the best you can feed them that you'll take out
Yeah,
easily.
so deckhand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
right.
can give out like a 3/3 and just AoE it like the rest with like a poison flurry.
Yeah, it's easy to take care of when you've got a good setup, but
Mhm.
if you have to feed them a Drake this early in the game when your answers are gonna be... I mean, I guess he could go prep, flurry, prep, eviscerate after the Drake coin, but that leaves him with 0 cards in hand and no follow-up.
Yeah, Strifecro here considering the potential of flurry, but decides that he has to just press on, just drops everything. Oh wow.
Well,
Do you like you have to flurry here somehow? What do you do with the oil, like prep oil?
I guess you could go, yeah, Blood Mage,
Blood
Mage, prep,
oil,
coin flurry.
flurry?
Yeah, I think I like that a lot.
Does
Blood
work.
Mage, yeah. But I mean, you do waste an entire Tinkers on this.
That's true.
Because you can't even get the attack to the face, man. This is so terrible.
Yeah,
but
it's far from optimal, but I feel like
It's
he
the best,
has
I
to use it here.
And the good part is you're still queuing up a Drake afterwards, right after. So I really do like that line of play. Looking at this current hand and how it could be improved, I think this is gonna be as good as it gets for him.
Yeah.
But let's see what he opts for. He goes for prep. Oh,
Okay.
no, he doesn't go for prep. He goes for Tinkers.
Oil and prepping the flurry, I guess.
Did we miscalculate? No, I don't think we did. I think he could
No.
have played Blood Mage now. Right? I'm not inventing things.
No, because he played the he could have done the
didn't-
play that we were talking about because he prepped the blade flurry here over
Instead of the Tinkers,
the
so
oil.
he-
Yes, because he could have gotten a discount of 3
one
on the
extra,
oil.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna call that a slight misplay, but that's maybe
gonna-
because
yeah.
he
It's
didn't.
gonna work out really well for him because he can kill out the mad scientist here to waste the second mirror entity. No, don't, no. I really strongly feel like he should have killed the scientist first to prevent the second mirror entity from coming. No. Okay.
At least there's no mech for that. Oh, and the mirror entity gets top decked by Strifecro. This is kind of a lucky outcome for
Yeah.
Frezzar, who won't get it for free.
Yeah, he won't get punished for that. But
All right. Whoa.
I really think that was a misplay because he didn't have the coin and he could like, I don't know.
Oh, Edwin, hello. Well, you're obviously not feeding him that. There's no
Oh,
way
this
in
is
hell.
so good. Obviously you are. You are feeding it as an 8/8.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just
I think you wanna prep a deadly poison here on
Oh
your
my
one durability dagger, then play eviscerate, then coin out.
coin, deadly poison, prep, Evis, 10/10 Van Cleef, and then hunt the other guys 10/10.
Yeah, you BGH it?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You actually can do it.
Yeah, you actually
Oh
can.
my god.
Oh my god,
Give
this is
him a 10/10
insane.
and hunt it.
I hope he sees the play.
Please do it. It's only
Please
gonna
see
leave him
the
with
play.
it's only gonna leave him with a Drake in hand, but that's not a problem. I mean, what can a make mage do to a 10/10? There's no polymorph. There's no big game hunter.
Yeah.
Please do it.
Does he see it? Well, he sees the first step. If he
Yeah.
uses Deadly on the 1 durability weapon, I'm gonna say he sees it.
Yeah, it has to be.
And he's
Frezzar.
going all in. I think we're going for it. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what? No, don't hesitate. It's too late to hesitate now. You've got to go all in. You can't... What the... Oh, what? What?
No!
What? Why did you prep first and then not Abyss and then... What was that prep for? You could have... Frezzar! No!
What happened? You could have kind of...
Oh, Frezzar, what have you done?
Now the scientist can trade for the big...
Oh, this
he
is
could have gotten a
not
full clear. It
good.
could have been a full clear. And the
Oh.
big game hunter would have survived.
The Edwin wouldn't have... I guess he would have gotten killed over 2 turns, but... Oh my
It would
god.
have been bigger. It would have
No,
been
play
a
Dr.
10-10
Boom!
instead
No, he didn't play Boom.
I feel so sad.
Every play I've seen so far makes me hate, makes me ache inside. Alright, so at least right now, Strifecro is still, admittedly, on the back foot. Let's be honest,
Yeah,
this
that's
is still a pretty tough position for him.
This is
But,
free and Dr. Boom. Like, if you only have 2 cards, that's what you want to have.
Exactly. So, alright, so I guess Frezzar's not out of this yet, but... Oh man, those plays.
I feel like the 10-10 under 4-2 on an empty board against Mech Mage.
Crazy,
Like-
yeah.
Unlosable. It's completely unlosable when you have a 10-10 and you have a 4-2 and your opponent has nothing. There's
I know your Sean would like
there's
to
no
word with you.
silence, there's no big game hunter, there's no polymorph.
No, I agree with you. Unless it's like a very heavily teched mech mage, you're not gonna see answers very easily. Oh man.
I think
almost
what
cried.
happened was, like, he roped there and then like misclicked by accident and then he was like, oh shit, like now there's no more. The reason why he didn't Evis in the end was like because he played the Van Cleef already and it was like it would have looked bad or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Didn't want to eviscerate at the end of the turn. Ouch, those bombs went absolutely nowhere. Well, at least, actually, no, never mind. They're actually gonna kill off that Dr. Boom. Oh, it's 2 damage on Boom, which allows him to trade him up, so that's 7 damage avoided. But, looking at Frezzar's hand right now, that's a powerhouse of a board for him. And the Archmage and Strifecro's hand would be good in other circumstances, but in these specific ones, kind of a dead card.
Yeah, it's not that great. It doesn't really do anything. I think you start with a sprint, go from there. It should be like something. If he picks up a second sap, he can sap something, like if he wants to. If he picks up an Evis, right, it's a really good Evis on the Blast Mage. Because like, what else could you do? You're gonna sap something small and... Okay, well that works.
I thought he was gonna sap the Blast Mage, but it worked out. And you know, he's still gonna be able to, he can't play the SI though, so it's gotta be a sprint.
Still, but it's
Kind of awkward.
I feel like
it
he
is
should
kind
have
of awkward.
sprinted before trading the second boom, but because he could have picked up a Backstab.
Yep.
Or did he use both already? I don't know.
Well, that's gonna give Strifecro the ability to trade that guy away.
Well, there's a combo.
Uh-oh. You
Spare
know, if
parts
that
and then there's a-
actually...
Yeah.
Well, that's not what he wants to see. And
But
the
the
Rogue doesn't
double
have
sap-
lethal in it right now, so... Double Sap is gonna negate Archmage almost entirely, unless a finicky Cloak Field is found. And that anti-kill bot is just gonna consolidate this board. If anything.
Yeah, I don't see Strifecro coming back.
Yeah. Sap SI for the board, and unless your opponent plays some kind of wonky Flame Strike variant of Mech Mage, then this is pretty much yours.
Yeah, Flame Strike would buy him some time, I guess. So, because Frezzar's running low on minions. Doesn't quite cut it.
It's close, but it's not curving at all, and he's still taking a
No.
guaranteed 8 from the Dagger and the Drake and the SI7, so...
Probably just on the Nidus and pray, but it's... Yeah, I don't know. What do you load? What does the load really do?
You might as well just play Archmage, because at least you
think
could
so,
get a chain, like, back-to-back board wipes, if you get lucky.
Yeah, but there's like... if you Strifecro, you can't imagine 6 cards that would not kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Like as against a rogue, especially the way they're built right now, there's really no way for you to seal the game.
It's pretty hilarious that he actually, those 6 cards, he does not have it yet. But it's irrelevant. He can like low tap and heal, but or anything. Low tap sap.
I think I'd low tap sap here.
Yeah.
Just you go in for 8 damage. Like you can't lose this exactly.
Yeah.
You could even double Fnatic Nice for card draw on the following turn and get probably the kill that you need. Yep. That is gonna be it for Strifecro. At least for this game. Wow, Frezzar's lines of play were kind of confusing to me along this game, but he still took the win, so he's gonna equalize against Strifecro 1-1 in this best of 5.
Yep.
So Strifecro's mage is still on the table. It's not out of the way yet.
Yeah, and mage is a deck that can sometimes struggle. So it might be like a problem for Strifecro to have that. I thought the Paladin might have been a problem, but he did manage to win with that. So the next game, Frezzar has Shaman and
Druid left.
Shaman and Druid, okay.
Yeah, we've seen his Druid deck,
has
kind of awkward, but...
Mechs and... Does Strifecro play Rogue?
Oh, no, he plays Warlock. We don't know what it is. It could be Demon Lock, you know, it's a variant on mid-range Warlock, or a Handlock, which is also pretty likely. Zoo is just gone nowadays. It's just not a thing. Because why would you play Zoo when you can play Mech Mage, pretty much? That's the same... Like, Mech Mage is the new Zoo, essentially, so...
Yeah, some people have had success with it. I saw a Reddit thread where it was like, rank 1 NA Zoo lock list, and...
Really?
Like, okay, so cool. I guess it works. Yeah, it was only like a few days ago or a week ago. So it's still some kind of thing, but knowing Strifecro, I would think that it's some kind of slower Warlock, either a Demon Lock or Handlock, most likely Handlock.
Yeah, I pin you and him, I think, both as controlled players in general. Like, I would put you both in that specific category of players, where I put, like, Shaki and Zixo at the very other extreme end of the spectrum, so... definitely, I think I'd pin him on a Handlock, or some kind of variant of Demon Lock, obviously, which is also really popular, and I really like that, you know, when I saw Implosion, I was pretty happy about the possibilities with it. It got picked up in Zoo right away, and eventually, out of the Mal'Ganis, the existence of Mal'Ganis and Implosion, mid-range Warlock became a thing, and that was really cool. I was really happy to see that.
I'm actually a big fan of the Demon Lock list, like in general, and like the dynamics of the deck, like, and the way it functions. It's a bit embarrassing, but I haven't had any success playing it. Like, I usually do pretty poorly with it. Maybe I'm playing it wrong, or maybe the list has been tiny bit off. But as a list, I think it's really cool. Like, I really love the Demon Locks.
Well, it's kind of like Rogue, where the list is cool, but when you play it, you might not have success with it. Like, some players try out the Oil Rogue at first, and they think, you know, because it's just such a strong deck, they're going to have a pretty good time with it, and then they run into decision trees. There's like a million decision trees, and they just get confused. And I think Demon Lock might be in the same boat, where once you get used to it, it kind of flows on its own. Yep,
so Druid versus Handlock. I think we can say it's Handlock from those.
It could be both.
Druid. Frezzar Druid, yes!
So we're gonna see more of that. There's a Kel'Thuzad and a Sneed's Old Shredder with Little Exorcist. I'm still not sure what that's about. Wait! Against Zombie Chow and Ruby and Eggs against Demon Lock. Is that the idea? Could that be the idea?
Oh! Void Color.
As Demon Lock as it gets.
Okay, so it's like a little bit of mix. There's a Molten Giant, which is typically in a Handlock, but not in Demon Lock. But then there's a Void Color, which is the other way around.
That Zombie Chow's a bit off curve right now. Frezzar would have loved to get that last turn.
Yeah, but it's actually, in this matchup, it's not that big of a deal, I think.
Yeah, it's not gonna be...
It kind of does help a little, because he could attack with it here and then, like, kill that off.
Oh, wow. That's good. You know,
but never mind. It's only for enemy. It's only for enemy.
Yeah, of course. But still, it's a 3-4 for 3 that has taunt.
Yeah, it's still this. Nice.
Well, it's pretty solid, actually, but... I can't believe I'm saying that, but this Little Exorcist is useful.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of value for 3 mana.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Not bad. But what's bad is his hand right now. Like there's nothing. He has 2 keepers. He has nothing else. So he's like top decking right now, or hoping that Strifecro plays something he can keeper.
Well, there's many lines of plays because of the innervate. You know, most top decks are probably going to be playable. Hopefully he doesn't get, you know, another wild growth for him at this point. That would be a pretty dry draw, honestly.
Oh boy, that little Exorcist just got 2.5 for 1. It got the coin, Dark Bomb, and the Zombie Chow. Why doesn't everyone play this card?
Yeah, it's obviously overpowered. I think it's overtuned. Blizzard needs to nerf the little Exorcist.
Please. I know that they're not like nerfing Dr. Boom, but maybe the little Exorcist at least would need some kind of change.
Yeah, I'd like you guys to address the problem that we're facing right now in this league. It's everywhere.
Little Exorcist OP.
I agree.
All those Reddit threads and still nothing happening.
I must safeguard the land.
So Void Color gets shut up by that Keeper of the Grove, but
if he knew that Strifecro's hand, he would have dealt 2 damage to and traded with Zombie Chow, but obviously like that's the more reasonable play to silence here.
Yep. Not knowing what's coming from it. Then again, you're almost happy to put Jiraxis on the board. Just get it out of the way.
No, you're not. Like, when it gets taunted up, what do you do as a druid? Because your druid needs to like, you need to force of nature Savage Roar into it, and it's still
Well, you don't
survives, so you need
understand.
hero power the following time.
This is Frezzar Druid. You know what he does? He Crazed Alchemist BGHs it.
Wow, mine.
It's pretty obvious. I mean,
could
I
be
can't believe you
there.
didn't think of that, Savage.
It could be in there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, all those Void Color Jiraxis, it's everywhere as well.
Yeah. So, Belcher? Kill off the zombie?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward turn. A boring turn, mind you, but a very effective one.
Yeah, pretty boring. But it works.
Well, well, well. What have we got? Well, you got Sylvanas you can't play because you're getting nothing out of it, so...
I feel like Strifecro has a big edge here, because he has the hero power, which draws more cards, and Frezzar is just reliant on top decking.
Yeah. When Frezzar finds an Ancient of Lore, he'll be able to equalize, but for the time being, it's not looking amazing. I guess you're forced to keep her that Sludge and hero power down the Void Caller. If you want to get anything done, because nothing else is doing anything for you, really.
It feels so bad to spend the last keeper, you never know what's coming next.
I
You have
agree.
no silences left.
Whoa. Wait, do I disagree with this play? I think I do. Yeah, you're taking 3 anyway. Might as well just silence the Sludge and then kill the Void Caller. I must have missed something.
Yeah, but then,
I mean, if
yeah,
you're
the
throwing it
Sludge
out on the
don't
board...
take any damage. So, but I personally I would have preferred the Sylvanas there a little bit more.
Oh,
my
goodness. Doesn't this get worse and worse by the second?
Okay, so he has 12 mana here, but
Nothing to spend it on.
so bad.
And Strifecro's hand is top-notch quality. Like, everything is there.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff, and he can throw more. Like he can make Strifecro can make powerful turns, and he can play more stuff. Oh boy, that Hellfire. Well, he doesn't even need the Hellfire.
You don't have to, but you could if you wanted.
Could like Shadow Flame something too. So then the Sylvana stays at 5, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, you could play Watcher, Shadow Flame, I guess, but you've got... Well, yeah, you could. You keep your 5/5 and your 1/1. The only time where it backfires is when he swipes your Sylvanas and then plays something in return.
He could also, like, oh man, like that's what I was talking about. There's no silences left. Now there's gonna be a big-ass Drake coming.
Yeah, this is actually going to be really
Yeah.
problematic for Frezzar. Using 2 keepers on, you know, mid-range minion, it really didn't accomplish too much, but
No.
it's going to be really bad for him. And now he has to go through a 4/5 with Taunt. This is... Well,
Okay.
there's card draw here. Okay, things might get better.
So what can you even dream to get rid of that Sylvanas?
Double Innervate. Oh, well, I guess a swipe. Oh. Well, that's a play.
Guess the swipe innervate works.
I mean, it's not as though you're being offered too much of a choice either.
No, you can swipe the Watcher here. Then like, innervate. No, okay, or huh.
So you swipe Sylvanas, you innervate Wrath for card draw, and then
Yeah, that
if you want
works,
more
yeah.
cards, since you're on 10 mana, I guess you won't need.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any combo piece, by the way. I'd like to point out. We were talking about it earlier. Like, does he have combo? Does he not? And we haven't seen any so far.
No, I think it's safe at this point to say that there's no combo, because we also saw the KT and the Sneeds.
Yeah,
So
that's a
the
lot
game
of
plan
late.
is to win with those minions instead of the combo.
Strifecro finds his Mortal Coil a little late. He would have gotten good value the past few turns. There were 2 keepers with 1 health each. Wow.
No, it's a natural mistake. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that mistake was, but
I think spending the keepers, but I'm not sure. Okay.
No time for games.
This
I
feels
guess at
pretty
least
bad,
Frezzar, yeah, Frezzar can at least be happy that there's no giant out yet. But it's still really tricky. Iron Beak Cowl denies that Sylvanas' value.
Yeah,
so.
definitely coming down here.
Hoot hoot.
Hoot Sylvanas out of here. Or... well, it's Strifecro, he's gonna... he still has 5 mana left afterwards, so... I'm
Yeah,
sure that he's gonna play the Owl, but he's thinking what else.
I'm liking the heal bot just because you're still unable to play Molten, but if you really want to play Molten, you could just keep lowering your health. Because you haven't seen combo last game and you just don't know what he's got right now.
Let's see. No, I kinda maybe like the little bit more to keep the heal bot in hand for now, because there's like the battle cry feels like it's completely wasted because it's not useful at all. And you have like a chance to play the Molten, maybe at even like 8th mana or 9 mana after a couple of taps. So it's not that far off. But another thing is that the Void Color is not gonna bring a demon, so that's not perfect either.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
possible demon. We have 5, that's 8, 9, 10, 11,
You
12
might tap
damage.
into one.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna tap here first, try to find a demon for the Void Color.
Yeah, because this is almost a cool like a cool Hellfire turn. If the boom bots all hit your face, you stand to play Moltens, but
Is there lethal actually?
not that I can see, no.
No. Okay.
There's none. Okay.
So he really didn't want to tap here. Well, that's gonna seal the game, I think, with the big
Yeah,
game handle.
BGH and Lothab.
Mhm.
There's no comeback mechanism, and this is kind of what Druid does. They have to take the initiative, and I don't know that Frezzar's Druid is especially tailored for that.
He just top deck 2 mind control decks and Defender of Argus.
Easy life,
I
right?
see.
You nourish into 2 MC tags, and you win the game.
That would be hilarious. But there was a low tap, so that didn't work because of the low tap. That's the low.
Oh, you're right. You can't even nourish into the MC tags. You can't even innervate them out, even if you do play them. So there was no way there. So Frezzar's Druid is like, I thought your mage was pretty unique that we saw yesterday, but I mean, never mind that, dude. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing compared to this. I don't even know what I'm.
It's just as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I just.
he's winning as many games as I won yesterday with my mage.
Yeah, I think you went 0-3 yesterday with a really bad. Well, your hands were honestly not the most stellar either. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was it was really one-sided set. I think the draws were bad, but also he had looked up that I'm playing like Secrets Mage, so he added the Kazan. So
Yeah, the Kazan mistake just turned the game around. Like I remember that one turn where you could have swung back in the game, and then that just completely wrecked everything.
yeah,
Pretty
Yeah, it's like
unfortunate. So 2-1 for Strifecro in the series versus Frezzar. Frezzar, and this is kind of the trick part about Conquest is that even if we assume that he wins his next match using Shaman versus the remaining deck of Strifecro, he still has to win with his Druid. Regardless of what happens, in the end, if he wants to win the series, he has to play with his 3 decks and win with them. So let's assume Strifecro now with his Warlock and Paladin locked, he's gonna go back to his Mage, and and that's gonna mean that Frezzar has to play either Druid or Shaman into the Mage, which means, I mean,
I think the Druid can work if it gets the right start. If you get like a Wild Growth, you get Nourish, you get Mana Crystals, you get a Sneed Soul Shredder on turn 3. I think that's pretty good.
I don't dislike the Druid matchup here just because it has that many taunts. So Mage has to go through a lot of taunts, and especially in that deck. I mean, we saw how many of them there were. So that is not unplayable. And you know, he's got Zombie Chows and Little Exorcist, but Frezzar is going to opt for his Shaman against the Mage.
Yep, Shaman Mage.
Alright. I don't know. I mean, if it's Mech Shaman, I'm going to say Mech Mage has a slight edge. Well, a slight edge. An edge, straight up. If it's more of a standard mid-range Shaman, then it's another story, I think.
Yeah, it can still beat it. It's all about Lightning Storm. Like, you need to have like Ferals on turn 3 and save Lightning Storm for turn 5 or something.
Yeah, you want to have a good storm with hopefully Blood Mage or a Totem that's on the board already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Strifecro probably has no idea what he's playing against. Like, okay, Shaman.
Yeah, after a Little Exorcist, Strifecro's got to be thinking, well, maybe there's a Far Side Gadgets and Auctioneer combo in there.
Wow. Next level.
That's not
looking
a bad
like a really standard Shaman. No minions, so that's a bit unfortunate. Oh, there's the Ferals. That's really important. That's one of the most important early game cards for the Shaman against Mech.
Yeah, you want to be able to contest those two attack minions that can't kill you unless the mage like spends all her tempo on hero powering, and you can abuse that fairly easily.
That's a bit uncommon with the double crackle. Could it maybe be like a Malygos thing? Usually there's only one crackle. Oh man, Strifecro's hand sucks.
It will get better mid-game, but yes, in fact, it's not exactly amazing right now. And
But yeah, the Frostballs are gonna find targets, so he's gonna have a turn 4. He's gonna have a good turn 4, so that's really nice for him.
Yeah, and Frezzar's gonna have the worst turn 4 of his life right afterwards.
Yeah, he does have the coin, so maybe he can like coin out. Like we can see that actually, like for Frezzar, he should be casting spells right now. He should clear those because Strifecro has no more minions. But obviously he doesn't know that.
Yeah, but I still think you have to try for that Feral Spirit.
I think it's like the best play. That's what I would do. But as it turns out, it's actually the worst play because of the hand that Strifecro has.
Yeah, without that information,
wow.
Frezzar made a nice play.
Like, look at that. He has the perfect turn 4. Perfect turn 4 with the double Frostbolts. He has a 5, he has a 6, and he has a Dr. Boom.
You don't even call it a 7, it's just a Dr. Boom. There's no other 7 in the game.
No, I don't think there are. There's some drug guy. I don't remember the name. I think it got removed after the game. It was only in the beta or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I only see that Dr. Boom.
I think they renamed him Dr. Boom afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of an awkward turn for Frezzar. As I said, kind of the worst turn 4 he could have had, but
yeah,
he still has a storm in case things escalate. But I mean, do you coin out Manatide and hope for the best? Or does that prevent the turn 5 coin is the problem? Because you want to kind of get that turn 5 Fire Rally, right?
I think so too, yeah.
You really want to get it, I think it's...
It's like, you need to fire... What do you Fire Rally with it? Because you can't Fire Rally the Mad Scientist, because if you Fire Rally the Mad Scientist, then your opponent also gets one.
Yeah, you can't do that.
If he gets a Spellpower Totem, maybe going out the Earthshock.
Well, that's going to be a little bit of damage mitigation, but with the Drake coming up from Strifecro, that's a 4 damage Fireball plus a ping.
Uh-oh.
Pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
Well, he could actually play the Shredder if he wants to. He's got 2 lines of play right now that are opened up.
I think that's a fairly easy Drake. It's 5 mana, it's on the curve, it's just perfect.
Yep, you don't have to saturate your mana with hero power.
No.
Well, Fire Elemental, if Frezzar makes the mistake of Fire Elementaling, the 2/2 is going to be pretty bad. Alright, so he's going to opt for the, which actually is pretty good with coin Earthshock on the Mad Scientist.
Yeah, that works.
It's a really nice play.
It sure is.
Oh, one victory at a time. We're gonna get there eventually. So this shaman is actually standing its ground, but there's a lot of pressure coming from Strifecro's hand, as we can see here. It's it's gonna be really tough for Frezzar to hold up.
Sure.
Because Frostbolt and Blast Mage, or even just Paladin Shredder follow up, you know, kill that Drake and then keep flooding that board.
Frostbolt is 4 damage, so I would be really tempted to do this. Maybe even like, well, just Blast Mage to go value. I guess that works too. If you don't hit any on it, okay, he got 2. So probably trading off the Mech Warper, so he's not too weak to a Lightning Stone.
Yeah,
Right.
I like the idea, and after that fact, since you decided to keep the Frostbolt, no reason to overkill. And still, it's kind of a weak board for Frezzar. Not even the board, but the hand.
Yeah, usually like Fire Element is like the best cards in Shaman, but this is just Strifecro has 2 big minions with 4 toughness. They just don't work out at all.
So this Crackle has a high chance of killing the Drake. If it doesn't, Frezzar is going to be in a world of hurt. So the Drake goes down. The second Crackle will be used on the Blast Mage, which also dies. Statistically likely, so pretty good.
So 7 mana, Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
Make decisions.
I think this is a pretty good hex though for well,
true.
pretty good. It's the most obvious hex ever.
Yeah, it's really obvious. He can't take 7 to face. Sad for Frezzar, he can't Lightning Stone. Well, maybe there's not even that much to storm with just yet.
Alright, but Strifecro's hand is going to be able to refill that board whenever he wants to. If he ever gets to like a turn where nothing happens and he can just get himself the Mech Warper, Snow Chugger, Shredder, like after Lightning Storm, his life still goes on. Like there's no problem for him.
Really smart from Strifecro not overcommitting here. There's no real reason to play more minions.
Well. Okay, so I guess the Storm is in order, but this is so awful because what you're taking out is essentially your Frog and the Boom Boss that came with Dr. Boom. So the value you're really getting effectively with the Lightning Storm is pretty slim.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. What else can you do?
Manatide
I don't
Harvest
know.
Totem? No, it's just so weak.
Just trying to find Spell Bar Totem, I think. Okay. Well, that's actually good, because now he can... I was gonna say he can Mana Tide, but maybe it's too weak.
I
So
don't
he could-
dislike the Golem Manatide or Manatide Storm, but I don't know.
yeah, but...
It's too late to Storm though, he played his minions. Wait, what? Okay.
He wants to keep the Taunt Totem. He wants it to not die to the Boom, but I guess.
Well, why? Okay. After he sees the... And it works, actually.
Yeah, if that's
It
what he
does
wanted
work.
to happen.
Yeah. Can't know for sure, but at the moment, Strifecro has a 14 health points lead on his opponent. And it's funny how Frezzar's hand contains all pretty much the best mid-game cards that he could ever ask for, but they're just not playable at any point.
Yeah. He
They
fell
don't
so
kill
behind
anything.
on the board. Like, the board just got so bad early on. Because all he had was spells, he didn't have his own minions to play.
Yep. And Strifecro is going to capitalize on this
Yeah.
weird board position and just
That's right.
flood again.
Unloading here.
Well, your move.
Oh, well,
wow.
that's a start.
That,
Probably
that's
not
a
gonna be enough, but still the best draw.
So you get Spell Power Totem, you Lightning Storm, Doomsayer comes out, and Toshli dies. And then you win. Because
like
how
that.
does the... Yeah, it has to happen. Well, it's
Okay.
not what he wants to
High
see, but
roll
it
on
could
the
still
Shredder.
happen.
I roll a Shredder and Doomsayer.
Wow, well, that didn't work. And it's gonna be even worse now. Is this lethal?
I think...
Five,
yeah, it is.
4... Yeah, I think it is lethal with that Frostbolt. So that is gonna seal the game. Oh, wow, the style points for Strifecro here. Yep, and Frezzar is gonna go down 3-1 versus Strifecro. So Frezzar, not exactly the best series for him in this specific case. He had really bad games with his
No.
Druid. Really bad games with his Druid. They didn't. I don't think it worked out the way that it was supposed to. But the thing is, I can't even tell you how it was supposed to go.
I have no idea either. I mean, I guess it's like this really greedy druid that you want to get your big minions, like the Sneed Soul Shredder and stuff. You want to get those early on, but he just couldn't make it happen. Like when he drew the mana cards, he didn't find the big drops, and it was just a bit unfortunate draws. But that's also a thing with that type of deck, that they sometimes are a bit inconsistent.
They're very reliant on that early wild growth innervate. If they don't get those and they can't take the board right away, it's just terrible. Which is one of the big weaknesses of it.
I agree.
I wonder though, why not go for a more standard type of deck for that specific? Because I mean, Little Exorcist, I guess you could make an argument for her, but I'd like to get some information from Frezzar himself as to why he included it in the deck, because it's a very uncommon card, if at all. Is it just to curve to have a taunt on turn 3 that otherwise you wouldn't have at all, besides Iron for Grizzly?
I guess it was targeted at the aggressive decks, but you couldn't really match it up against those. Like he ended up playing against Handlock, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's not exactly
sure.
what.
I'm not sure exactly. We would have to ask Frezzar about it, or I have to like think about it more. Right now, I can't really tell why exactly it was in the deck.
Yeah, I can't speculate about it. All right. Well, we're going to be going for a 10 minutes break. Afterwards, we're going to be casting Thais versus Gara. Another amazing match today. Gara had a pretty bad run on his first week, but Thais did pretty well, and now we're going to be back with them for week 2. And hopefully they bring some cool decks. Gara is a very innovative player. He tends to bring a lot of homebrews to tournaments, which is something I love about the guy. So hopefully we get surprised with more of those things, and maybe another Little Exorcist. We never know. Either way, don't go anywhere. Kinguin Pro League.